I'm Sarah Barratt. I'm a partner in the Real Estate Dispute Resolution team here at Muckle, and I'm going to talk about changes for landlords that will come in as a result of the Renters' Rights Bill. The abolition of Section 21 will impact landlords' ability to manage their properties, most importantly by taking away the right to use a Section 21 procedure to recover possession of property. There are some other consequences of that as well, and so the nature of tenancy agreements will change. They will become periodic, so there'll be no fixed term tenancies after the Renters' Rights Bill has been passed into law. The changes that will be brought to property management as a result of the passing of the Renters' Rights Bill will impact upon how tenancies are managed. There will be no fixed term tenancies, so renewals and such like will be a thing of the past. How possession is recovered will change with the abolition of Section 21, but there will be some new Section 8 grounds for possession. The means of increasing rent will change. So there's quite a few things to take into account from a property management perspective. The right to request pet consent will affect landlords' responsibilities because it will be an obligation for landlords to consider a request made in writing by a tenant to keep a pet in the property. So landlords won't be able to have a blanket ban on pets. They won't be unreasonably able to refuse consent, but they can have the ability to require the tenant to take out additional insurance to cover the costs which might be incurred as a result of having a pet in the property. The new limit on rent increases will impact landlords' income in a number of ways. There can only be one increase in rent a year. That has to be limited to the market rent, and if there's a dispute on that, then a reference can be made to the tribunal who will assess the rent. So unreasonable rent increases can't take place. The tribunal, when they are looking at rent increases, won't backdate the rent increase to the date of the application, and in certain circumstances they may be able to postpone the date on which a rent increase can come into effect. So the introduction of a new ombudsman for the private rented sector is likely to impact property owners and landlords in that it is hoped that increases in standards across the sector will result. The intention is that it will provide a quick method of resolution of complaints, but it's also anticipated that the Ombudsman will be able to provide guidance to landlords which will help them in the management of their properties. The team at Muckle can help landlords prepare for the changes which will be coming in as a result of the Renters' Rights Bill in a number of ways. Looking at the situation before the bill becomes law, to take any action which they might want to take before the changes come into effect. But we can also look to have an eye on the tenancy agreements to make sure that they comply with the new requirements, and also to provide training or guidance or representation in connection with action which may need to be taken in using the new grounds for possession that will be in place once the bill becomes law.